Is Santa Claus real? And what about all this Christmas spirit? Well, a friend asked a few of us. My son asked if Santa Claus is real. What do I say? Very interesting question. Well, this is my thought on the matter. Is Santa Claus real? Was he ever real? And what is this Christmas spirit? Well, stay tuned and I'll tell you more. So welcome back to the Brac Shop, and this is the portal to the paranormal, the spiritual, the unexplained, you could say via quantum physics. And I'm Tom from the shop. Now, is Santa real? And what is this Christmas thing? Christmas is just around the corner, and a lot of us has been getting really prepared for Christmas. And I know this year has been a challenging year. And this year, for a lot of people, we've been locked down into our houses without being able to see friends and family. And we all begin to wonder from the year we've had, why bother with Christmas? What's the point? Who's going to come over and see the decorations? Or getting straight to the point, it's basically for yourself, for your own uplifting, to give you the spirits, to lift you up and make you happier, which also takes you to a higher vibration if you're going into that realm of thought. But now, is Santa real? Now, a friend actually asked a few of us, what do I tell my child who's actually asked, is Santa real? There's been a few different comments, but I think it is really an individual, child by child answer. And of course, what age they are as well, because don't forget, they're at school, they get told things from different kids at school. There's peer pressure, you could say, from the older kids who know it all and want to tell the world what they know and believe, because it makes them feel grown up. Remember what you used to be like when you were 8. You remember? You learnt something new. You wanted to tell the world because it made you feel a bit more grown up. And this is probably what goes on when you're about 8, if you remember. I sort of remember. I remember when I wondered about the question, is Santa real? And as I said, it depends for each individual family and child as well. But in a way, Santa is very real. And this is in a way what my dad told me, and I found a little message from somebody to someone else actually, and it actually said that which is really spreading the Christmas spirit. Because what is Christmas to most people? Yes, it's the birth of Jesus Christ. And if you want to delve further back, it was Catholicism or Christianity bringing all together the pagan rituals, because it used to represent the longest night of the year. So we're at that turning point, and we could celebrate because we were then going into shorter nights, weren't as long. And looking forward to summer. So that was the turning point, and Christianity brought that in together with the birth of Christ and made it his birthday. Because, as I said in one of my other videos, they don't really know when Christ was born. And they actually think it could have actually been in the middle of the year. And I've explained that in my other video, which I probably put the link up above. Now, that's how we've ended up with Christmas. And Santa Claus, where did Santa Claus come from? Well, there's the story of St. Nick. And as I was told, St. Nick was an old man in the Scandinavian countries or Northern Europe who used to give out presents to little children. And he was known as St. Nick. And that story sort of like came down through the ages. And as with anything that's nice and cozy and fuzzy stories, it was sort of like recreated. And people started giving presents to little kids. And St. Nick evolved into Santa Claus. And that's how Santa Claus evolved, from what I've been told. And the story that I've been told is from this dad, whose son asked him if Santa Claus was real. He actually asked him, do you really want to know? Do you really want to know if Santa Claus is real? And the child said, I think I'm old enough now to know. And I said, all right, I'll tell you. He is real. And the child was quite a surprise. But let me read what the dad goes on to say. He's real, but he's not an old man with a beard in a red suit, because that's what we tell kids. So kids would understand the concept of Santa Claus. And as he says, the truth about Santa Claus is that he's not actually a real person, but he's an idea. And that's how kids would understand it, as a person who gave out presents. Because it's more like the physical of spreading the Christmas spirit. And actually it's a good idea, because it's like the material, physical side of things to get the younger minds thinking of it. Now, as the dad goes on to say, the truth about Santa Claus is that he's not a real person at all. Think of all those presents that Santa gave you over the years. I had actually bought them, as the dad. He had actually bought them, and he'd watched the child open them up. And did it bother him that you didn't think of him as the dad buying all those presents? Of course not. In fact, it gave him pleasure. Because, as he says, you see, Santa Claus is the idea of giving for the sake of giving, without thoughts of thanks, of acknowledgement. And I think that embodies it, really, because that is what Christmas is all about. It's the act of giving without thinking of receiving anything back in return. And it also lifts you up to a higher level of vibration, you could say, because in a way you're pleased that someone has received and felt happy. And you don't get anything back, except maybe seeing them happy. And that is the act of giving. And because you can give as well, means that you have plenty. And you can be thankful that you have enough to give, no matter how big or small it is. You don't have to be rich and give big fancy presents. You can just give a token, like a piece of cake or something. Or if you haven't got any money, if you're poor, you can make something. Because it's the act of actually opening up a present and receiving something, or watching them receive something. And it's a nice occasion and a pleasant feel. So it raises your vibration. And in a way, that is an uplifting moment. Takes you to a higher level. And as we all know, those who are looking at the manifestation realm, that if you're on a higher level, you're better, you attract more, and things open up to you. And isn't that what it is? To be uplifted and to get things coming to you that you want or desire. And isn't that Christmas? The Christmas spirit of spreading cheer and goodwill and lifting everybody's spirits. That's why we've got Christmas Carol, the story written by Charles Dickens about Scrooge, who's such a miser, who doesn't want to give and wants to take all the time, that the three ghosts come to him and shows him what he's done in his past, and is this where he wants to go. We probably all know the Christmas Carol, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone else who hasn't seen it or knows it. So that really embodies the Christmas spirit. And as this little notice says, the Christmas spirit getting back onto the line of giving presents to young kids. He also explains why he carries on Santa's legacy of giving presents, or just doing nice deeds for people, because, as he says here, when I saw the woman collapse on the subway the other week and called for help, I knew that she'd never know that it was me who summoned the ambulance. But I was being Santa when I did that. So it's really very similar. The good acts you're doing is very much like the good acts of the Christmas spirit, spreading Christmas cheer. And yes, it's for the young ones, and they think it's a man with a white beard and a red suit doing it. But it's a bit like training. So when they grow up, they don't lose faith in Santa Claus, but they expand on that faith of giving, of Santa Claus giving presents and spreading goodwill and cheer. And so the dad also went on to say, so now that you know you're part of the secret, you have to be Santa Claus too. And that means you can never tell a young kid the secret. And you have to help us select Santa presents for them. And most important, you have to look for opportunities to help people. Very much like the Christmas spirit. To be able to give and help and share. And probably without expecting anything back in return. As they say, it's better to give than to receive. Let's raise our vibrations so it all works in and ties in together. And I know this year has been a very challenging year. And with a lot of us now confined to our homes for Christmas, for lockdown, where we won't see anyone. But just think out of the box. Think of all the Zoom Christmases you can now be doing with FaceTime, with friends and loved ones. Christmas lunch through Zoom. And you can eat everything you've prepared for yourself. No one else to take it away from you. Think out of the box. Think out of the box and think around this isolation. And spread the Christmas spirit, because it's not all doom and gloom. And surprisingly, through the years, all the people I've known who said, oh, I've got to see the people, unfortunately, family that they don't get along well with. I have to spend Christmas with them. Now you don't have to. Although it's nice to know there's a lot of people that do like to spend Christmas with their families and friends. And I've noticed it on social media how upset they've been that they can't do it this year. But think out of the box. And it's 1 year. And this way we'll keep the COVID down because we're self-isolating. So we'll be able to have many more Christmases in the future. So that's my take on Christmas, on Santa, keeping the legacy alive, the spirit, the Christmas spirit. So if you've liked this video, click the like button, tell your friends and share the video as well. Comment down below what you think. Be interesting to hear what you think about that. And if this is your first time to the channel, the first time you've seen me, welcome. Join us because I've got a whole lot of different ideas to present to you. And as I've said, it's paranormal and spiritual, unexplained via quantum physics, because I think everything is linked. And the answer is quantum physics. So subscribe and click the bell for the notifications. Click the notification button as well, so you'll be updated when I do release videos. So thanks for watching, and I hope you've got something out of this. It's not all doom and gloom. Just think of the half-filled glass. So many people have been thinking of this year and Christmas as half empty. Let's think of it as half full and make the most of Christmas this year and what we've got left of 2020, which is a bit of a strange thing to say because next year, what does next year hold? Put it out there and see if we can attract it. So, spreading the Christmas spirit, spreading the Christmas cheer, goodwill to all. And whatever you do, enjoy Christmas, enjoy the new year passing, and don't forget, be happy so you can raise your vibration and put it out there for what you desire and want, because it all happens with a higher vibration. So hopefully I'll see you next time. Subscribe and like the video, and I'll see you next time. So stay well and happy. And Merry Christmas. Oh, and a side note, if you're not a Christian, it doesn't matter, because all religions have the element of spreading goodwill. And this is just an exercise of spreading goodwill. So I hope you join us with that. So stay well and happy, and Merry Christmas. Or Happy Holidays.